What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Scream 7 yet again, but throw in now not just this writer's strike, but also the actor's strike, and kind of talk about realistically the timeline that we're looking at. Well, first thing I want to throw in is we have the physical release of Scream 6, and remember those rumors from the one guy Beyond the Mask was talking to? Remember, one of the things that person said, that is their opinion, I suppose, is that potentially Scream 7 would be teased or announced around the time Scream 6 gets its physical release. Now, I throw that in there because it kind of is an update / we got to make sure we're checking people. And obviously, we had the actors strike, so that definitely could have thrown things completely out of whack. But obviously, here's where we are. We got nothing, and I would not expect anything for an incredibly long time. Now, a couple other things to keep in mind with the actors strike and everybody, postponing the filming of things. Well, we do know from people that have kind of, I guess, been on the inside with at least Beetlejuice 2, Jenna Ortega, right, is that movie was actually almost done. Now, Jenna had an absolutely packed schedule of many, many more movies than just that one, but you think, okay, well, we can almost knock one down there. Melissa Barrera, behind me here, we know she was filming. I don't think that one ended. I think that was supposed to go maybe until, well, actually, maybe just a few more weeks from now, so maybe that one was getting closer. Again, the reasons I throw this in is because now we've had things kind of fall out of sorts where we have the actors strike, and whenever this thing kind of gets back on track, everybody's got to have to pick up from where they just left off. So Jenna Ortega still has movie after movie to do. Melissa maybe is more relatively free. Everybody else is maybe more relatively free already. And then you kind of go from there. The biggest thing, of course, is going to be when does all this stuff get resolved? I still kind of firmly believe that Scream 7 was written and was done, before they went on strike back, maybe in May. But then obviously the acting thing, that is the biggest part to this, where everybody's going to have to finish up what they were doing. Now, when you think about when Scream 7 could even begin filming, you have to think, okay, well, you have to fit it in a schedule. We've heard the rumors of late this year, early next year. There's been a couple other reports we've talked about over the last few weeks that, they'd be shooting potentially still for the end of this year if all goes well and there was no strike. And, well, obviously that happened. So to me now, in terms of predictions and a realistic timeline, I can't imagine this thing gets filming before 2024. Now, anywhere in 2024, I guess that's anyone's guess, but the longer this goes, obviously I think it continues to get shifted or continues to get pushed, where maybe you're looking at like mid-2024 for filming it, and then maybe you're looking at around the time Scream 5 came out, right, January, maybe you're looking at that for 2025. I think that makes a lot of sense. You could say that was maybe already in the cards, that was already their plan, whether it's because of radio silence or the lead actresses, right, that maybe they wanted to give it time. I know I've seen plenty of comments throughout time, and I don't ever disagree necessarily with them. People that say, well, let's just kind of hold off. Let's not do Scream 7 right away. You got to let the horror genre kind of continue to go through things in cinema so that you have things to kind of reflect and talk about in your movie, a movie that's commentary on the horror genre. I don't actually disagree with that at all. I do think there's a potential that it's moving too quick. At the same time, people have very short attention spans, including myself, I suppose, and I think you want to strike when the iron's hot, which being right now, but there's nothing you can do until this stuff is resolved. Quick, I guess, prediction on that side of things. I can't imagine this goes that long. I believe the statistic is this hasn't happened in like 62 or 64 years, both of them going on strike. I mean, look, at the end of the day, if you can't even film what was being filmed, you're basically done. You also can't have any of these people advertising the films. So all these movies that are going to be, or shows, I guess, releasing on streaming, releasing on theaters, just say over the next couple months, you got Blue Beetle, you still have this Barbie Oppenheimer thing going on, right? Like, there's so many of these things that you're not going to be able to promote. Now, I don't really think the actors have that much power, or they don't have as much power as maybe they think they do, where they, because they're talking to Collider, they get butts in seats. I don't really think that's a thing, but I do think this is going to hurt. And I also think that obviously when you're used up all the films that were done filming, and now you can't even do films that were written and then film them, you can't do anything, eventually you're going to be done. And as long as the writers and the actors hold strong, you're eventually going to have, I suppose, or I assume, the big studio executives I feel like they're going to have to cave at least a little bit. Because you think, okay, what's 5, 6, 7, 8 months down the line? Well, we don't have anything because we can't even film now. So I can't imagine this thing goes on too long. I personally think like within the next couple months, like probably by September or October, I could see everything coming back. But again, then you got to get everybody in the positions they were at, finish everything that was already going on, continue going forward, and then that's when Scream 7, I think, obviously comes in. So I do think, maybe mid next year makes the most sense, giving it time for Jenna to do her 500 movies, Melissa to finish her thing, Radio Silence, all that stuff, get everything done, and then you can do it maybe around the time Scream 6 did it, right? Like a June to September kind of thing. You could do that next year. So, you'd be taking some years off, but it is what it is. There's nothing really we can do about it. And then, like I said, maybe 6 to 8 months after that, the movie would release. So that's my kind of rough roadmap. You let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.